later than usual.
Woo. But we're live.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Drew, were you... First off, let me make sure I'm using the right mic. Drew, were you present for the end of the last setting? Do you know what's going down?
I believe I was, if I'm not mistaken. This was what Drew remembers, that we fought a Githyanki ship, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
But a big dragon came and may have waylaid the party. However, if I'm not mistaken, again, we had 3 of our Cuthbert priests save the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then it all goes dark. Because Drew was lying in a heap of blood, getting squished by a dragon.
Oh, okay. So his head's still a little fuzzy about the whole events of meeting a wizard and, walking into an underwater citadel and all the puzzles and stuff.
Ooh, the puzzles I think Drew sort of remembers, but his head was still foggy from being squished.
Okay, fair enough.
I remember we tried to go to Highport or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and then they were charging us way too much money for parking, so we just kind of left.
Yeah, it was a rough place to be, definitely. Which again surprised me because I hadn't read up on Highport before we started, so that surprised me. That's the nice thing about a pre-built setting, I will say, as someone who generally doesn't run them, is that if I don't know something, I can just look it up, and there's usually already pre-built info, so that's pretty nice. That makes things a lot easier for me. Okay, let me pull up my notes. Right, okay. So, you had just made a key from air, you had just found the doorman, and you played the doorbell. And so now, with that, Beatrix has gone up to the doorway and opened it wide for you, and you're all... It's sort of this dark, looming passage in front of you, and you can't quite see the end of it before you. She's saying that the wizard Dramige awaits for you.
Alright. So I guess we're gonna gather everyone up and head in.
Okay. And
did we bring the 3 Cuthbert priests with us?
No, because each person has to solve a puzzle to get in, and so for every person you add, another puzzle you have to solve.
Gotcha.
So is Josephine just gonna wait for us?
I mean, yeah, she's having a good time at the party.
But it was mentioned that the people going to meet the wizard typically don't come back to the party.
I mean, you never know what's gonna happen.
I mean, there was some kind of mystical seal valet for our ship. I'm sure we'll be able to round everyone up.
Okay. Before we go meet the wizard, I'm just gonna let Josephine know where I'm going and tell her to not make too much trouble.
I mean, this is way better than the rations we have on the ship, so I'm probably just gonna stuff my face for a little bit before I even think about trouble.
That's fair.
Don't worry, I won't cause any trouble.
Good. We really need this guy's help. Hopefully he can provide it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. If you ever get worried, just head back to the ship. We'll meet back there later.
Mm-hmm. And she, gives you a curt little bow and goes back to what she was up to. Which was stealing all the cocktail weenies.
Of course.
Okay, so you 3 are... anything else?
That's all I was concerned with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just avoiding all of the awkward glances between the people that have been waiting here months, unable to solve their puzzles.
Mhm. Oh, and trust me, there are plenty. That Yugoloth, like, wizard who prides himself on intelligence, he's especially like, human. But you're the only ones allowed in right now. And so, as you're let in, you sort of see this. It's a very dark corridor, and as you all walk into it, and the door shuts behind you, with Beatrix falling behind you guys, it feels as though you're being pulled forward, and that there isn't any, like, real space in between the hall and the room you're now in.
Mm-hmm.
And that this black corridor is, like, sort of just a temporary place. Like, it doesn't really exist. And you instantly find yourself in the chamber of Dramij. And it's a magically dark room. And it's an enormous room. And on the roof parts, there's this enormous model of gray space. Something that, you may have seen pictures of in books, but, like, this is, like, it's almost like 3D models, like, floating in real time. Like, he has a small gray space in his roof. And it's at least 200 feet wide below a domed roof. The walls seem to only contain shelves, and at the tops they sort of meld into the space above them. And below you, you can see through a translucent floor this enormous clock just ticking away that takes up like the entire floor space. The shelves themselves contain every book imaginable. There's strange artifacts, little candles with no fires themselves, and at the edge of the room, sort of sitting in a old rocking chair, you can see Dramij himself. And unlike the little illusion you saw, he seems much older than that, but it's kind of hard to pin down. There's like a factor of impermanence with him, as though he's always constantly shifting his appearance and age. Beatrix takes her place at his side, and the wizard sort of just looks at you all. Just a nice big smile on his face as he rocks away.
The brief time that we've been with Beatrix, has she been like pretty solemnly a dragonborn? Does she seem like shifty?
She's a dragonborn.
Okay, and her behavior seems like normal sentient behavior for a living thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe disciplined, but that's about it.
Got it.
Rayrell's gonna awkwardly curtsy, I guess, and she's like, "Thank you for seeing us."
She looked. The wizard sort of looks at Drew and looks at you, Rayrell, for a second, and he looks at you, Soren, and his eyes pierce your own, and he knows instantly. Ah, fellow practicer of the arcane. Not so disciplined as I, but masterful in its execution all the same.
Yes, not as practiced is kind of a tagline of mine, so
Yes.
that's accurate.
So you came to me for the simple reason that I had a vision. And it was one that I did not feel safe sharing over Scry, where unscrupulous voices could hear. This vision has troubled me for many, many months now. I didn't know what to make of it until I heard that there was a ship stolen and flying over Oerth. I had to get in contact with you the moment I found this out. Let me tell you, in this vision, I saw the sun going out. I saw great rituals of fell magic being conjured. The Gith were unable to save themselves from their own rot. The skull of the planet itself was cracked open by a foul beak, and its innards were drank. The people of the furnace, with tyrants devouring the bones, and a great void with hollow eyes encompassing all. It's not good for sleep when that's the kind of stuff that pops into your head at night.
I suppose not.
No, that doesn't sound good for much of anything.
And recently, now that I've sort of figured out who it is piloting all this sort of stuff, and who's been, the root of some of my visions at least, I looked deeper into your own futures. I tried to see what I could glean from that. That was, in some ways, even more interesting.
What did you see?
The god of futures said things to me. And they said that there were 3 more things to happen. That the conquering pilgrim would be betrayed, that his sword begetting prayer, that an innocent smuggler would meet someone familiar, blood begetting kinship, the lost tracker would lose something dear to her, the hollow begetting death. I mean, I understand what some of that means, but I have no more information on that much. Does this mean anything to you?
I have concerns. But the future is not set. It can be changed.
Great philosophers have argued that for a long time. We don't know which way it is set.
Well, then how do you know your visions or your dreams have any...
Well, simply because ones that I've had have come true before.
So the whole world-ending bit, is that happening? Does that happen if we don't listen to your advice? Or do we listen to your advice and then that happens?
I don't know. Fun stuff about doing time magic. You yourselves sort of find yourselves like caterpillars on the tree. You can only go down one branch, and it keeps breaking and breaking into smaller and smaller branches. But with this tree, it goes to infinity. I myself can step back and look at the tree, but I can't tell you which parts of the tree are going to be dead within a year. Does that make any sense?
I suppose.
About as much sense as anything else we've heard, I suppose.
Yes.
I think you'll have to excuse us. We came here searching for help with one captured city, and you're saying. I guess I don't know what's happening.
I'm saying that I've seen things beyond the captured city. Please, I've dominated this conversation. Tell me what your concerns are.
The Gith and the wizard Rory?
Rory.
They want our ship, and otherwise they will destroy Greyhawk.
Right.
Unfortunately, we don't want to give them the ship because they're a bunch of assholes.
Which,
Fair.
to be fair, we found did not steal.
Mm-hmm.
Just if there's a form for that, we could change that wording.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not so sure Rory wants our ship at this point. It's one of the reasons we thought it would be good to speak with you is he's a bit of an asshole that you all have a checkered past with, and
Mm-hmm.
he studied the ship before we liberated it from him, and apparently has now started making his own.
Interesting. A spell jammer is not an easy thing to build.
Oh, what?
A spell jammer, that's the proper name for what you've been flying all this time.
We've just been calling it an airship.
Yes. I know a little bit about what you're dealing with. I have found myself on spell jammers before, but never in ownership of one. Even the small ones are very expensive to produce. The resources, the arcane spells, you need a master of the arcane to even attempt to make one. I'm frankly astonished that he managed to reproduce one so quickly.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we haven't seen his ship, so he may just be a liar. But he seemed... He was confident going forward with that ruse, at least.
I mean, with Rory, he will tell falsehoods, but there'll always be some measure of truth to them. So I wouldn't take it as falsehood, more just a cautionary tale. That he certainly may be intending on one, he may have one in the works. He's definitely played his hand, but he hasn't shown you how much of that hand is really cards and how much it is paper he scribbled on, if that makes any sense.
Makes some sense.
Interesting. Well, I can tell you this. The Gith are dangerous, but from what I can tell, they are no longer in Greyhawk.
Is Greyhawk still in danger?
Perhaps. But I don't think it's from the Gith.
Oh, yay.
Here's the thing, and he sort of shows you an image of the ocean above where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
They followed you here.
Shit.
And you can see like an image of the ocean, and there's a much bigger spelljammer than the last one sort of floating above it. Yes, they are most certainly waiting for you. They will try to ambush you. But they don't know what is below the surface, and they don't know that I know what they're doing. And, on top of that, the vehicle you possess is certainly leagues faster than their own.
That's good.
I would not engage with the ship. I would run.
Running's what we're best at the moment.
Excellent.
Indeed.
Okay, well, in that case, I will say this, that there's some sort of plot afoot. There's factions at work, and some things are going to be done. I don't know what the plan is, but I do believe that the Illithid, who are the more quiet of the factions at play, are getting ready to make their move. And their move is far more calculated and with better resources than the other three.
The other three?
Of the three. The Gith, the Rari, and the yourselves.
Oh,
Oh.
No, there's
That's
not some
fair.
mysterious third faction. Not that I know of, at least.
I mean, we really don't have a plan.
Hmm. And he points to the model of gray space. He says that on 5 of these worlds, there's some sort of ritual that's being prepared. I don't know which worlds, and I do not even know the nature of the ritual. But I know something dangerous is being set up. If you would like, and because your claims have good veracity to them, I will rally as many members of the Circle of Eight as I can, and see if I can get them to muster in Greyhawk and protect the city in the meantime.
Thank you. That's at least one problem taken care of.
Very kind.
In exchange, though, could you do this for me and investigate this ritualistic happenings that are going on?
Of course.
This may be a very dangerous task, I'm going to tell you right now. And I'm not going to be subtle on that fact. If
That's to be expected.
So here's what I will do in order to assist you in this task. I will grant each of you one small gift from my collection and give you any information on the outer spheres of Greyhawk that you may need. So please, my collection is quite vast, and it has been collecting dust, as it were, for over 60 years. If you can think it, I probably have it. What do you desire? Beatrix, he's like getting her ready to go grab some stuff.
Do you have a bow that's
I have many bows.
enchanted? Something that does elemental damage.
And that is what you desire?
Yes.
Very well. Beatrix, you know what to do. And for you, young Master Soren?
At a loss. Haven't had a whole lot of chance to think beyond what I want besides just flying the vessel. You're the experienced arcanist here. What would you suggest for
someone like yourself?
Yes.
A teacher for flying, but I can't grant you one of those.
Right.
Perhaps something to help you cast magic or to protect yourself?
Yes, that's. I was thinking something along those lines. Something to either protect myself or enhance my magic a bit.
Something that can protect you. Yes, I have a good idea for that. And then, Master Drew, what do you desire, O Holy of Cuthbert?
Although it pains me to ask, I would make the ask that I would be granted the use of armor to protect me and my church through me.
A suit of
So
armor is
whatever.
what you desire.
Yes, to protect myself and my faith from those that would harm us both.
And you would like, what, plate mail, scale?
Not the armor of a knight, but perhaps the armor of a warrior priest, such as some sort of chainmail.
What's your waist size, Drew?
That'd be a 34.
Interesting.
I'm in shape. 34.
Well, you know, I can't refit chainmail. I'm not an armorer. And with that, Beatrix heads off. And she, very quickly returns. And in her hand, she's got a very beautiful bow. And she has an axe and a little trinket to wear around your neck. She hands the bow to Rayrel, and she gives the axe to Soren, and she gives the trinket to Drew.
What was Drew handed?
A trinket.
Yep, just a little trinket.
So it's a bear. You got a bear. Congratulations.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's just a little
Berenstain
necklace to wear
Bear.
around your neck. Now, first, you may realize I have given you no arrows, Rayrel. But pull the string back.
Rayrel pulls the string back.
And with that, you can feel like a warmth happening between the string and the bow handle, as like a rod of fire just sort of conjures itself between it.
Oh.
Yes, that bow will never require a single arrow and will always shoot a bolt of flaming heat. It's delightful that way, really. And so
Thank you.
for metagame purposes, it's a +1 bow, no arrows required, and it always uses elemental fire. A longbow,
Okay.
specifically.
So it's a +1 to hit, +1 for damage,
Mhm.
and it does like fire damage as well.
Yep. I would say you can pick the damage type between fire and radiance. Now, Master Soren, that is not a spell or anything to protect you, is it?
He's clearly just holding this axe, like no idea how to properly hold one.
Yeah, it's a gigantic great axe.
It's great.
Yeah, that looks super embellished and with all these weird little, gizmos on it that you can't quite place.
I suppose I could hide behind it. It's pretty big.
That will save you to some extent. That right there, it's like a smoke bomb. It's a means of getting out of a situation. That axe, if you cut through plain space with it, now I'm not talking there is no air, there is no water, there is only plain space or phlogiston in front of you. When you cut, you'll be able to tear a rift open in dimensions and be able to travel to a different plane of existence. Now this will only work about once a month, because that is a very powerful spell that you will be throwing forth. But it should save your life if used at the right time. And you can even bring your entire ship through this portal.
Oh. So, can't cut air, can't cut water. Will take me to another plane. Do I need to know where I'm going? I haven't been to a lot of other
As long as
I think I've mostly been on this one.
As long as you know the plane's name, it will take you there. And if you know a specific location on that plane, it can warp you very close to that location.
Do you have like a travel guide I might borrow? Any recommendations on good planes to go to?
Oh, a guide of the planes? I mean, for now, just keep the 5 basic ones in mind. The ones that won't kill you instantly. Actually. And he does like some number counting. Okay. 3 of the 5 I will tell you won't kill you instantly. Keep in mind that there's the elemental planes of water, earth, air, and fire, and where the Gith come from as well, and this is similar to their means that they use to get their ships here, is the astral plane.
Probably best to avoid that one then.
Oh, it's like a shortcut. Any distance traveled on the astral plane is much shorter. You can use it as a means of getting places far faster. That said,
thank you.
You know, you may need to avoid it. It's up to you. And then you, Master Drew. You wanted chainmail, yes? I have given you chainmail.
Indeed. And Drew looks thoroughly confused at this point.
There seems to be a little button on the amulet. And it's like a little stopwatch, or a little pocket watch. And in the middle of the clock, there's a little button.
Okay, so as Drew's going over this and sees the button, he turns and looks. And what's the name of the person handing out these fine items again?
Beatrix.
Beatrix, with your permission, may I press this button here?
Go right ahead.
With your permission, thank you.
Yeah,
and
that's
Drew
when the fun part starts, don't you worry.
And Drew hits the button.
And instantly, like a ripple of water over a pond, you see like chainmail just sort of envelop you. Like, you know, obviously the normal parts being left out, so your head's still left out and all that.
Yeah.
That is some very fine armor.
So now this suit of chainmail does it look solid, or is it kind of visceral? You know what I mean? Like, what is the...
It looks very solid. Like, the chains are kind of a goldenish color, like almost like polished brass.
Okay. Alright. And Drew he kind of will flex and move and twist, and he's just trying to get the gauge of, you know, like, wow.
Oh,
he can still move and everything.
It
correct?
fits like a fucking glove. It feels like you're wearing like silk.
Outstanding. So Drew is without showing too much emotion, he just smiles, a little wry smile, and asks Beatrix, and the protective properties of this chainmail. It appears to be quite good. Am I correct?
Very good. It once belonged to a great paladin.
I am honored and humbled, Beatrix. I thank you very much.
And again, for metagame purposes, you can basically consider that +1 chainmail. It's free to put on and off. And when it's off, it provides basically no negatives.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you very much, Beatrix.
Of course. Oh, yes, there's one more thing you all need. I was a fool to forget for a second, but do not worry. Oh, and he stands up from his rocking chair, and he goes from being 60 to 20. Okay, there's one more thing you most certainly will need. let me get that for you. And he wheels out these very strange-looking suits with what appears to be like glass fish bowls on the head. Yes! Yes! You need atmosphere suits! Of course! How silly of me. While you leave the atmosphere, your ship will create a bubble, and you will be very safe. Do not worry about that. But if you are to leave your ship while in the outer spheres, you will need these suits, or you will die. Very painfully. And he looks way too excited about this. I've never seen it happen. I'm very curious, but please don't do it. But if you do, and the others are alive and get to see it, please take notes and send them back to me. It's one of the few things about the outer spheres I have not gotten to witness. But yes, while you wear these suits, they will protect you from dying in the outer atmosphere. You won't need to wear them on your ship, or in any place that has an atmosphere. But once you leave those areas, I would recommend these quite a bit. And, they don't look too heavy, but, they look like, if you crossed a little bit of steampunk with a little bit of, real world astronaut gear. Like, it's very peculiar. And
so is it almost like an underwater diving suit?
Yeah, almost. They don't actually look as heavy as like those early diving suits. But it definitely doesn't look like something you're going to be doing acrobatics in or anything.
Okay.
Yes, when you leave, take these with you. And, might I ask, do you have any questions about the crystal spheres aside from Oerth? Anything at all before you leave? I can give you as much information as you'd like.
Sure. What are they?
Well, I mean, they're other planets. They have life on them as well, and people go about their business on them as well. There are these many in total, and he shows you basically a picture, or not even a picture, but he gestures to each of the ones above. Yes, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of them in total, aside from the one we live on. And they all circle Oerth. Kind of beautiful in that way.
And one of these is where you're sending us?
Or
where we are going on your behalf?
There are 5 of these hold dark rituals. I don't know which of the 5, unfortunately. Scrying can only get me so far.
Then we shall have to investigate for you.
That's exactly what I was hoping for. You are being lovely, lovely hosts. Wait, I'm the host. You're being lovely guests. And thank you so much for our assistance. Of course, I suppose I'm providing assistance as well. Is rallying the circle harder or easier than investigating planets? I don't know. Mordekainen does love exploding things. It's a 50-50, really. It's hard to tell. Okay.
When shall we start?
I mean, I can scare away the ship that's flying over my home, and once that's dealt with, I would say that would be the ideal time to make your run.
It would. would there be another way to contact you if we find information or we need assistance with something?
I mean, you really should have asked for that when you were asking for gifts. No, of course. And he says, I will show you how the Gith have been doing it. And he goes to one of his shelves and hurries back as quickly as he can. And he's got those weird red stones that you've been seeing the Gith use so often.
Oh, we have a few of those.
Yes, if meddled with correctly, they can be used to send messages across space and time. And so, all you need to do is attune them to yourselves. And the Githyanki are more than eager to do that. While there are other means of sending messages, I suppose the Illithid have their own way of doing it. This is probably the most efficient way for non-psionic creatures to do so. All you need to do is, once you are ready to attune them to yourselves, put a drop of blood upon them from yourself and from the target you wish to communicate with. This needn't be every time. It's like adding a contact to an iPhone. You don't know what those are yet, no. It's... Listen, being a chronomancer has its drawbacks. A lot of my terminology that I would love to use.
What's a phone?
Shh. In time. Do not upset the time stream, please. I've taught you how to use these, and I recommend their use.
Okay.
Should you return alive and in good spirits, I will see if I can get you an iPhone.
I don't
Very
even.
strange.
What is a phone?
Exactly. It's very interesting. I will tell you in the future. Do not worry.
So, okay. So if we need your assistance, we contact you with one of these stones.
Yes, exactly.
Look, don't we need your blood to do so?
Oh, don't worry. I've been bleeding on things for years. I'm certain at some point or another I got some on there. Even Beatrix looks a little taken aback by that, like... What the hell?
You know, parchment cuts, and, might actually stab yourself with your nib pen.
Exactly. Pen stabs, paper cuts, summoning demons, accidentally stapling your hand. Things happen.
What's a staple?
Exactly. Don't mess with the time stream.
I'm just picturing like a Gith bazaar that just like sells Dramiji blood to anybody that wants to just get in touch with him now.
Oh dear. I mean, you don't know who could be listening. Scrying's a scary business.
Alright, so we pick one of these marbles. I fly the ship up into the sky, and apparently we find ground again, is how this works.
Yes.
Do we need to... But then you said it's a world just like this one, so it's... And do we have any idea what we're looking for in terms of clues? Or do we just go city to city and say, hey, we're not from around here. Any strange rituals going on?
I cannot provide you with any more information than I have. I would say that if you need places to start, the crystal spheres of Kule and Ginsel are probably the best two to start with. They're the safest, at least.
Yeah, that's a good ranking list to have. Let's go with the safe side list.
Yes, again, if you have any questions before you leave, just let me know.
Okay, so we have 5 spheres we have to investigate.
Yes.
Well, there's a bunch of spheres. Apparently, 5 of them have something that we're supposed to find.
Yes.
We don't know which ones have a ritual going on.
Yes.
And we don't know. We don't know once. We won't know once we get to one of these marbles whether there's a ritual going on, and if there is, where to find it on this entire world. So it's that sounds right. Looking at
That is exactly
I understand this correctly.
Okay. I suppose we have the most information we're gonna get. And if time is of the essence, you should get going.
Excellent. Okay, you tell me when, and then about 15 minutes from now, you'll see something awful happen, and that should scare away the gift ship for a little while at least.
Okay, I think we need to decide where we're going first.
So I guess Ginsel or Kuel, one of those two. The two that have Dramiji's seal of approval for safer than the others.
Well, that's not to say they're completely safe, of course. You could still meet a horrifying death on either of those.
True.
I mean, Ginsel has the spider mob, and then Kuele
Oh.
has the pits of infinite. Truly,
I mean,
there's no good option here.
I mean, Spider Mob sounds a little better than Pits of Infinite.
Does it?
Yes?
Trust me, the spider
'Cause I
mob
don't-
is something else. They're lovely gentlemen. Truly terrible beings, but lovely to hang out with for a day or two.
Pits of Infinite sounds like we may just be missing a word at the end. Maybe it's Pits of Infinite Refreshment. Or Pits
I mean,
of
I
Infinite
think
Gold.
that's just the ballroom outside.
Oh yes, I keep that very well stocked. You see, my secret is I trade with devils, but they don't know that what they're getting is actually seawater when they think I'm giving them pearls. It's a truly clever ruse that they still have yet to figure out.
That just seems like you're asking for trouble later on down the line.
Trust me, I have 10,000 things that want to kill me, and all of them are here for trouble.
Very well. Hope it comes later rather than sooner.
I hope that too. And he says, I know I've been giving you quite a few things to carry back to your ship, but here is one more. And he says, if you didn't have one already, here is a small map of our gray space. And he gives that to Drew and he says, I don't know if the others know how to do math. And I don't mean to be rude when I say that. But
I think Ariel's like 300 some odd years old. I'm pretty sure she knows how to do math.
And he says, learn how to be a navigator. I would say that this is a skill that might come in handy in your future. Now then, give me a time frame for when I should cast the spell.
Maybe like 20 minutes? Does that sound good?
Perfect.
We gotta round up our crew.
Understood. Perfect. Well, is there any more business we have to take care of?
I don't believe so. You will take care. Make sure Greyhawk is protected while we're gone.
Yes, of course.
Good.
I don't like not going to the city, but it's the one I was born in, and I will do my best to make sure it is in top condition for you. Don't worry.
Right, and you'll be in contact with us, I suppose, if... What was it you said when we walked in? A giant beak opens up and destroys the world?
Yes, I will make sure. If I see any beaks larger than they should be, you will be informed. Don't you worry about that.
Right.
So, alright.
He opens up his little stopwatch. I could just watch the clock down there, but this one's better. He starts his little stopwatch. 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Alright. Let's go.
May I ask of you one more favor? And I know you've done a lot for us already.
What is that?
In case somebody were to be slain or passed, I am able to bring them back from the precipice of death, yet I do not have the required component to do so. And so, if you have in your vast storage an area, perhaps diamonds that I may use to bring my friends back if something were to befall them.
Oh, gee. Diamonds? Why didn't you just ask? They're practically lying on the floor. Beatrix, get this pauper some diamonds before he leaves. I kid, of course. But, yes, I can get you that much. And you're given a little pouch of diamonds.
Okay, and just out of game, I need diamonds worth 300 gold pieces. So I'm assuming Beatrix, in the knowledge that the person has, would understand maybe like diamonds worth like 600 gold or something like that.
Yes, he gave you almost exactly 600.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. And Drew will look at the pouch, and he'll walk to Beatrix and reach out his hand to shake the hand of Beatrix.
She gives you a big, scaly, handshake.
And Drew will sort of just bow with his head, and I thank you.
Thank you, too.
He will turn to leave.
Oh, yes, 15 minutes remain.
Let's get going, guys.
Alright, and Drew will follow Rayrel and Soren to where we go next.
Alright, so, are we able to get back to the ballroom?
Yeah, you don't seem to have too much trouble getting back.
Okay.
Back through that pneumatic tube hallway that just put us in.
Yep.
So, I'll collect Josephine.
Okay, and she's got, just absolute armfuls of cocktail weenies.
Yeah, I was gonna say stuff our pockets with some snacks.
I was also thinking that. Take some food and booze.
Are we like Robin Williams from Jack with the cherries?
Oh, exactly like that.
Natural cherries. Just eat the whole thing and stick the rest in your pocket. Let's go.
Alright.
Hey, Vienna sausage, man, I'm in.
Alright, so we collect everyone. Because I know some of our little bots came in wearing their bow ties.
Yes.
65 in the crew.
65s.
65 in the 65-lets.
Yes. And then we'll just get back to our ship. And did we figure out which one we're going to?
I mean,
the biggest one.
You seem to prefer the spider people, so I guess we'll go to that place.
We'll start with spiders, and then go from there.
All right. Yes. I mean, we've got a name. We'll see how good we are at finding it. But I think I'll kind of go on the intercom once we get back to the ship, the little psychic intercom. PA system we've been playing around with and stuff. Everyone, brace yourselves and be ready. We're going to be going. I guess we're just going straight up, and we'll see where that goes. We haven't done that yet, so be a fun little trip.
And so you feel the ship, pulling out of port as it does, and you see the Gith ship floating above the water, high above it, and you can hear Dramizha's voice whisper inside your head. Right, 15 minutes up, time, stop. And you just... everything, aside from your ship and the people on it, freezes in place. Now, you have 1 minute before it all gets unfrozen. Make good use of it.
Okay.
I will, I guess, mentally floor it with the ship.
Yeah, you blast that thing. And you
Let
go...
the clutch up, and here we go.
You go rocketing up in the atmosphere. And the ship heats up a little bit as you start to go up extremely fast.
65, please let me know if I'm doing this in a way that will result in all of our deaths.
I understand, sir. We are good for right now. And as you reach the atmosphere, you notice that you have a far lead on the ship that's now starting to follow you again.
Okay, we need to find somewhere for you to use that axe, I guess?
Well, I don't think the axe... I think we need to stay on this plane, right?
I guess.
I don't think the axe takes us to different, these different marbles that Dramizha was showing us. I think that takes us somewhere else entirely. And then I'm not able to use it to get us back for another month.
That's fair. Okay, I guess we just keep going up.
I think so. I think that's the plan. We keep going up, and then as fast as we can. I think the tricky part will be once we're as far up as up is, which direction to go.
And that's what the map is for.
Yes.
All right.
And this is really the first time you've ever broken atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, as you break atmosphere for the first time, and that ship is far behind, you do notice something in the upper atmosphere. You notice that there is another ship sort of parked outside out in space.
Oh, right. We did see those show up at some point.
Yep, and I actually put a little illustration of what it is up to you, because once you see it, it's clearly obvious what it is. There is an absolutely enormous ship sitting out in the upper atmosphere. You know, like the Star Destroyers from Star Wars? It's like that big. And it's just sitting there looking ominous.
Is that bigger than the Gith ship that's chasing us?
Far, far bigger. This is bigger than any Spelljammer you've ever seen. And honestly, it's hard to imagine that one could get much larger than that. And it does notice both of you flying by. And you notice a red glow start to emanate from its center hull.
Oh no!
Right, because we look like a Gith ship.
You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor.
No, it's just the ship! It's just the ship!
And you can feel the entire thing shaking as the four little tips at the end of the ship sort of glow together, and a beam shoots out. But they are not aiming for you. No, they hit the enemy ship, and it fucking explodes instantly behind you.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay.
And it does take notice of you, and it's starting to charge up for a second shot.
No, 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 no!
I have not stopped just going straight up as fast as up will go.
And you notice it starts to decharge the beam as it realizes that you're going to be out of range before it can fire. But But yeah, now you are out in the atmosphere of gray space for the first time. And for the first time, you can see it all laid bare in front of you.
Wow.
From here, I don't have much DMing to do. From here, what happens is entirely up to you three. I have literally not written out notes beyond this point. You tell me where you go.
Okay, so we're going to... What was that place? The one with the spiders?
Ginsel.
Okay, we're gonna head to Ginsel.
Mm-hmm.
And we're kind of, it looks like we're in the center of all of this mess. So it may take a little, if all these things are moving, it may take a little bit to get oriented.
That's fair. But as soon as we get oriented and figure out where we are, we'll head that way.
I can run calculations on it.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
And the other 65-lets, like, grab pieces of paper and sort of lay it out before the main 65. And you haven't seen 65 do a lot of fighting or a lot of anything, but now you see why they're kept on the ship. They're fucking living calculators. And he offers up in about a minute a trajectory to get you where you need to go, Soren.
Perfect. Excellent work, 65. Someone knows how to do space math on this ship. We only need one.
Space math.
Yes.
The coolest kind of math.
I will...
Note that the
65 modes... Sorry, go ahead.
Note that the calculations given do not account for the random movements of the grinder meteors.
Oh, those are meteors. What's a meteor?
A large but uninhabited crystal sphere of a peculiar shape, usually found in large masses together.
Huh.
Okay. So avoid that. Good to know. As we follow this route you've mapped out, 65, is there any way you can continue to... what's the best way to monitor the area around us, I suppose? From all of the interactions we've had, it doesn't sound like we're the only ship that'll be traveling out here.
A telescope would be recommended, sir.
And I take it we don't have one.
You would have to check what supplies we have, sir.
I'm pretty sure we can find something on board.
In that case, I'll take this most direct route, and let's see what we can find to help us keep an eye out for more of those giant things. Well, I mean, I guess those will be easier to see, but like tinier versions of it that also want to eat us or destroy us.
And so, Ray, after some investigating, you do find a little telescope that you can use for purposes of like sightseeing and pre-spotting type stuff.
Awesome.
So, Ginsel is where we're going?
Yes.
Okay, so your ship rockets out into the deeper parts of gray space. And you can see Oerth becoming a smaller and smaller little blue dot behind you. And sort of... It gets cold on the ship's deck. You know, not deathly cold, but uncomfortably so.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, as you begin to head out, you pass by these, large floating rocks as you pass through it, and none of them really hit the ship. And you pass beyond those as well, and you're getting further and further out, and then you notice the ship starts to slow down a little bit. And it slows down and down till it comes to almost a complete stop.
This is not me, just for the record.
And
Something's happening.
the large thruster engine behind your ship sort of stops blasting out fire.
Are we supposed to fuel it with something?
Yes.
I don't...
What are we supposed to fuel it with?
Phlogiston or burnable gases are generally the fuel recommended.
Huh.
What are phlogiston?
Phlogiston is the gas that basically seeps out from beyond crystal spheres. So you see like the Great Sargasso and the outer stuff. Beyond that,
Yes.
linking different crystal spheres themselves is phlogiston. It's like a weird sort of fourth state of being gas.
So we essentially have to make it off the map to get it.
I mean, and 65 comes up to you that we have enough, and that we're near the grinder meteors, that we can get to either Edil or Nibile to refuel. And I think both
Neither
of those
were.
Let's see. Let me check my notes real quick. Yes, so both of those are basically gaseous planets that have the type of gas you would need to refuel.
65. Do we have any other information about those two worlds? All I know is that they were not on Dramiji's list of safe.
They are both gaseous
Safe.
bodies. Where Oerth is made mostly of stone, these worlds are made mostly of airs.
So, no one would be living there?
No one would be living on the surface anyways.
I mean, we need to refuel, so whichever one's closer, I suppose.
I guess whichever one maybe is kind of the least deviation from our current route too, since we still need to get to the spider mob world.
Hmm.
True.
Well, what's your
Which
call
is-
then, Captain?
Which one is like the closest, like the least deviation from our current path?
I mean, both would take you along the path that you need to go.
Oh, okay.
Edil is a little bit closer, but Nibile is closer to your destination.
I think we should refuel sooner rather than later.
Sure. Yes. We don't want to be. That makes sense. There's any number of things we don't know out here.
Yes.
So best not to be caught stranded. Let's go with Edil then.
Okay. So, with the little bit of fuel you have left, you sort of limp the ship along to Edil.
Are we essentially like running past empty at this point?
Oh, it's very much on fumes. At some point, 65 even has to go out and push. I'm not going to
Oh,
explain
okay.
how that works. And then you see Edil, and it's sort of this blue Neptune-looking like planet. And yeah, there isn't a lot of, obviously there isn't much living on Edil. But you do notice these little, like, sort of ramshackle, basically like small meteors that have been drug out this far, sort of thrown into the orbit of Edil, and then like little castles or other types of structures built onto them. And there's two main ones you can see sort of floating by the planet's surface. There is one that is built with black spires and strange little eyes sort of built all over it. And then there's one that looks very insect-like with these large antennae and spindly like limbs jutting out from it. And both
You?
beneath both of them is these very large sort of nets or like siphons that are being used to suck gas off of Edil and into whatever structure they're on.
65. Do we have our own siphon on this ship that we just set up and apply ourselves? Do we have to
Negatory.
essentially
That would
trade
require
for it from-
an enormous amount of infrastructure, sir.
understood? So we essentially need to go speak with whatever kind of creatures live in that wriggling insect tower, or whichever kind of creatures live in the ominous black spire that's covered in eyeballs. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Crew, any preferences here?
I will follow your lead.
Guess we gotta go talk to the insect people? I don't know.
Well, we could do insect or we could do creepy eyeballs. We've got two excellent choices.
I'll take bugs over eyeballs.
I'll take bugs for 300, Alex.
It's funny. Both of our creepy coin flip choices, I feel like Soren and Henry Rel have had like different fear apprehension.
Yeah.
He's gonna turn towards the insect tower.
Okay. And as you move towards the insect tower and, dock there, someone comes out to greet you. And it's this little guy. He's not that big. He's only like 3.5 feet tall, and the bottom half of his body is a spider, and the top half is sort of this long neck with a horrible gaping maw and little hands. And
baby hands?
yeah,
Aw,
and it walks up to you.
so cute.
It's it sort of leans on this little stick that it's got. It says, "All right, how much you need?"
We need to fill her up?
Githyanki freighter, small size. What you got to trade for it? Don't tell me you didn't come all this way with no money.
No. How much does he want? I have a little bit of cash.
Haggle with me.
All right,
We'll
what are we
see
trying
how
to
much
buy?
We're trying to buy fuel for an entire Githyanki freighter, and not a small one either.
I was told this was one of the smaller ones, sir. I was told this was a schooner, not a freighter.
Well, maybe there's smaller out there still. You have to realize, look at my size. To me, all these ships are huge.
Yes, a comedian as well.
Yeah. So how much you paying for it? What have you got?
What's in the cargo hold of this ship? Do we know?
He seems to
Is
be
there
growing
anything we haven't
patient.
pawned already?
Yeah.
Is there anything in the cargo hold of the ship that we didn't already pawn off?
There's food, there's like little strange metal implements, strange silver pieces, books and, propaganda for Vlocklith.
Probably the silver pieces would be our best bet.
And if you ain't got gems to sell, I'll take people as well. Whatever you got.
I hold up one of the red gems. It's like, how much would this get us?
He takes a good look at it. We'll say 1/3 of a tank.
I'll pull out my gem and toss it his way as well.
What the? Did you kill Githyanki? How did
Yes.
you get all this? Interesting. Alright. I'll take the 2 and fill her up. But don't say I didn't do anything nice for you. The others know I did this. I'll never hear the end of it.
You have our word.
And even in friendliness, this thing seems like it's in an eternally bad mood. And you see it sort of clambers back inside and comes back out with an enormous insectoid creature behind it. An umber hulk, at least 11 feet tall, carrying an enormous tank of liquid. Alright, you big buffoon, just knock it in there.
Wow. He's an angry elf.
And...
I don't think these are any elves I've seen.
Kevin, you can't hit me with the elf references. It's not December yet.
Sorry.
I just give Drew this look like, what the fuck?
No, that's great. I love that.
Sorry. Call me elf one more time. He's an angry elf. Sorry.
And you can hear this heavy, liquid gas thing being sloshed into the ship. And the big Umber Hulk returns to its station. He says, "Listen, you don't seem like very new, like you're very experienced out here. It's plainly obvious. Careful, alright?"
You'll try to be, thank you.
Fucking humans. And it clambers back into its, big carapace fortress-looking thing. And you can hear other ones inside, also with a, little goblin-like voice. And your ship is refilled.
Woo!
I hope he's not. I hope the spider mobs that we're going to aren't like him, because that was unpleasant. That was.
Grumpy old troll. Living.
Well, we're fueled up. Let's get going.
Yes, let's before we attract any more attention here.
Yes.
And so as you make your way off, there's nothing else really major that happens. And soon enough, you see yourself making your way to the Ginsel. And it's sort of this large crescent-shaped planet. And it's covered in this very, very heavy fog. And so you do notice, even as you're pulling in, the occasional, Spelljammer ship is leaving or going into the port as well. And, as you pull in to this crescent-shaped port, it's very purple, it's very foggy, and the planet just sort of smells weird. But there's a lot of structures on it, and it seems to be a point of light this far out in the galaxy. So, before you see sort of these strange alien temples, sort of non-traditional architecture. It's built, some buildings are built at 90 degrees, some are built, normally. It's a very strange place. And sort of domineering the entire site is one sort of great domed chapel at sort of the midpoint of the crescent. Or you can't even tell it's a chapel, it's just a large domed structure, I suppose.
Alright.
Alright, so what do you all think? Does anywhere look particularly ritually as we're landing?
I mean, most rituals are, secluded, right? They wouldn't be out in the open, I'd hope.
Well,
Exactly.
we could have it could have been easier that way, at least. If
When has anything been easy on this trip?
It's fine. I'm sure that We'll have no trouble sorting through 14 different worlds.
We need to figure out a way to like get more coin or items to trade.
Yeah, can I check the? I know there's no gas tank on here to check, but can 65? How much fuel have we had to use just from the time that we filled up to reach here? What's our mileage on this ship?
One full tank, which we currently possess, would take us from one end of gray space to the other, and back.
Okay.
And so.
Oh.
And so that only took up about 2% of your fuel.
So
Okay.
we should be good if we're conservative for the entire.
It looks as though that the reason your ship was on such low fuel is when you found it, it was on low fuel, and that it had been siphoned off or something by, I don't know, maybe some dickbag wizard. You never know.
Oh.
Well,
But yeah, this port has creatures from all over. Many of them, like, species you can't quite identify. And then, you know, there's the little spider guys. You see even Illithid walking about. Every spelljammer and every, like, creature you can imagine on Oerth, and those you can't, are here.
I was gonna say, are we gonna be like the only humans/elf when we walk off the ship?
You can see the occasional human and elf, but they certainly, you know, they seem to be humans and elves of very different tradition than your own.
alright. So, I suppose we'll just dock and we'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, look for some local points of interest and see if anything world-ending and strange has been going on.
Mm.
Yeah. And also at some point during the trip, I want to have Freyrel give Josephine her old longbow, now that she has a like much cooler longbow.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
So she can, like, shoot and protect herself.
Yeah, very fair. Completely understandable. I would say... Okay, which one of you is looking for points of interest?
Once we've docked, I'll take a peek around.
Okay. Give me an investigate roll then. Or wait, do we have Streetwise in 5th edition? I don't think we have Streetwise.
I don't think so.
No.
No, okay, that was just a
Would
4th
be,
edition.
yeah.
Alright,
Would be
yeah.
investigation or perception.
Yeah, give me investigate then.
Ooh. I'm not good at that.
Oh, this is good.
So I rolled a 1
Mm-hmm.
with my -1 modifier. That brings us to a 0.
Excellent.
Oh no.
Excellent. So you ask around, right? And you don't really get told about like the giant temples or like the enormous bazaars or something. But you do find a large hippo man. And he says,
Ooh.
"Oh yeah, there's a good tavern down the way. You can get fucking sloshed there." And that's about all the info you get.
not even the name of the tavern. just
Not
down the
even
way.
a name.
I mean, are you sure you didn't have like a big migraine during this session? Like you don't even remember anything? You
No,
got
the
a
hippo-
0.
The hippo man was quite clear with his instructions.
Okay. Are you sure you remember them?
Well, I remember the hippo man at least.
All
He pointed in a general direction.
I mean, a hippo man is something pretty hard to forget. I will say that.
I didn't see the actual bar, but for him to bring it up, I'm sure we'll find it.
Well, when you roll a 0, you can't be too sure. But yes, shall we?
We shall.
Okay.
So, my is, are we bringing all of our crew with us, or is it just the three of us? Like, I feel like we should leave the clerics at
I'm not sure. I think that'd be. What do you think about that, Drew? Do they want to explore? Or are they more manning the ship here?
I think for now they should be a security detail.
sounds good.
It's 65, and the 65s should probably routine maintenance on the ship. Also, in case your friends have any questions, Drew, they'll be there to assist.
Indeed.
And then he'll like kind of half look at Rayrel and not ask like, so is Josephine coming with, but just kind of wait for her to decide.
I personally would like Josephine to stay at the ship, but Josephine might have other ideas.
I mean, Josephine generally has been very eager to get out and, mix in and learn about places, but she definitely does seem a little reserved with this one, considering walking hippo men and weird spider people are about.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just ask Josephine, like, would you like to stay at the ship, or do you want to come and...
I think I will sit this one out. I've been wanting to talk with 65 for some time, so I'm gonna stay here. Thanks.
Okay. We'll be back soon.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I'm like, keep in mind our code word, because God knows what's going to happen here.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So I give her a hug, and then we'll head out.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And so, with those very vague hippo-y instructions, you sort of, meander about the streets and stuff and the alleyways of Ginsel's main port for a while. And there's a lot of strange creatures that bump shoulders with you. Some you recognize. And eventually you do manage to find the one tavern that the hippo sort of pointed you in the way of.
Is it called the Waiting Hippo?
No. This tavern is called the King's Volley, and it's sort of got a picture of a large hippo holding a musket in its hands.
Oh, that's awesome. The Minute Hippo.
Mm-hmm. So, inside, it does seem to mainly cater to a hippo person clientele, and that seems to be the main type of creature that's here. That said, there are most certainly, large sort of bulky creatures from across the multiverse. Any creature that is both very large and very lawful seems to be here. So you can see other creatures like devils, like Githyanki, like humans, and even the occasional half-orc you can see here.
Awesome. So,
and it
are
is,
we just...
Sorry, and it is a surprisingly orderly place for a tavern. Okay, sorry about that.
Alright, so we're looking for information, I suppose? Perhaps we can also find some work? Just so we can get more coin in our pouch?
Sure.
Because I broke.
No, you're right in the sense that we definitely need coin. I think we may have to be a little bit cautious in terms of what work we're equipped to take on in this place, as we've literally just landed here.
That's true, but it might also help us gain favor with the locals.
No, I agree. As long as yes, I think just as long as we're cautious with who, because I'm torn. We don't want to. If we tell people that we're new, we take an advantage of that.
Here's the thing: it's very obvious that we're new. I mean, Drew just keeps staring at everything.
These new experiences. I did not even know that these places existed.
We're in space, yes. Like, this is very unusual and very strange. At least for us. So we'll try to not get taken advantage of, but I suppose it's going to happen one way or another at this point.
I am simply unfamiliar with these different places of existence and learning what they're all about. Hence my silence.
That's fair.
Maybe we
approach
the bartender and chat with them first.
That sounds like
they must have dealt with new people at some point.
that makes sense. Yes, we'll start with the bartender.
Okay.
Did you want to lead that, or?
Yes. Yeah. Let's. He says suddenly with confidence he in no way earns in this place. Let's do it. Let's chat up some hippo people.
All right.
Okay, so you're gonna go mess with the bartender then?
Unless they're
I mean,
quite
not
large.
mess. I mean,
If they're larger than us, then no.
Yeah, this.
I mean, there's other ways of messing with the bartender.
This is true.
This guy is pretty big. Who's tending the bar? He's at least 7'9".
yeah, mess with is not. I feel like there's a lot of connotation there. I am approaching the bartender as a patron of his establishment.
And Drew, being 6'4", thought he was tall.
Oh, hello there. Welcome. What can I do for you?
Well, friend, it's if it was not immediately obvious, my friends and I are a bit new to these parts. This place was highly recommended to us by one of your compatriots that we met out on the dock. So we're traveling around. We're looking for any type of work that might be suited to the folks of our stature, as well as
small?
yes. I mean, relatively.
I don't know. What could I gain from hiring you?
Well, we may be small, but it's magic tends to work no matter the size of the caster, and my friends here are fine warriors as well.
I'm not one for magic, but I do like a good.
So it pays to have someone around who is.
I do like a good test of strength. I might have something for you if you are strong. And he puts his elbow down on the table and like in an arm wrestling gesture.
Drew just immediately looks over his shoulder to you. Drew.
Hold on. I'm gonna see
No,
if
I'm
there's
screwing it up.
see if there's a strength spell I can get. Let me. All right, hold on. Let's look. We're gonna look really quick. We're gonna. So far, oh my god. Let me
Drew's
see.
like
I'm gonna
flipping
look
through
at-
his scrolls, just like
Oh, I
looking
am.
for ways to cheat.
I am for sure.
His
I'm just
little
looking-
prayer book.
Yep.
What's wrong,
Strength.
little human? Don't think you can win in a fair match?
How do you
Oh,
know
I
that
know.
I'm trying to cheat?
Oh, I know I can't, sir. I'm considering which of my friends I think could.
Ooh, hold on. Channel Divinity Feat of Strength. At second level. Oh, I don't think I have that.
Oh.
Channel Divinity Feat of Strength. No, let's see. Channel Divinity. What do I have? You can affect a number. What is it?
This,
I can only do Preserve Life. Son of a biscuit.
this fucking guy.
All right. Drew's gonna put his arm up there to get it broken. Glad I can cast heal myself.
The gif like puts his elbow back down again, and like the entire bar kind of shakes a little bit.
I'm gonna use two hands.
You know, I
I'm
don't
kidding.
think this is very fair. Among my kind, I'm a bit of a runt.
My God, man.
Drew,
yeah,
if you're not confident in your abilities, I can always give it a shot.
my lady, if you are indeed stronger than I have no qualms with you taking over this contest of strength.
I have a +2 to strength, so
That's me too. I'm sitting on a 14.
okay. It's like I can always try if you're nervous.
There's no nervousness involved. I simply think he's a brute. And he'll leave his arm on the he'll leave his arm on the bar, on the counter.
Okay, so you're going for him?
Let me just make sure I got nothing else. Manage feet. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't have it. It says grappling, but I don't think I have that. None of us have feats, correct?
At level 4, you could have taken one, or you could have given yourself 2 points in the stat.
Okay, I gave myself 2 points.
Yep.
I think,
Then
yeah.
I don't think you have a feat.
All right. Yep. Then I'll still do it. What the hell? Let's roll. He
Okay.
can break my arm in half, but I've got healing spells ready.
Okay. So,
I'm gonna
let
throw my whole body over the bar. I swear to God.
give me a strength check.
All right. So here we go. Google roll. Roll dice roller. Rolladie.net. That's not what I wanted. I'm going to roll a d20. Oh, not terrible. So that's a 17 total.
Okay. So you two grip arms, and at first you actually manage to push a little bit against this guy. You're actually gaining ground here. Give me another one.
All right.
Ooh, no.
Oh, indeed, 17 again.
And you just realize the creature realizes like you're pushing it back like surprisingly well, and it just fucking yanks weight the other way and immediately gets it back to the middle.
Ow.
Okay. Give me one more strength check. Let's see how this match is gonna go.
Okay, dude.
Mhm.
17, 19.
17 and 19?
Yeah.
Okay, you managed to push him right to the brink. And with that, you actually managed to pin him. Though it was like pushing a fucking brick wall up.
I have
like,
no idea how this dice roller did it, but
And the GIF looks taken aback, like, Oh, how could you? Very well, all right.
I prestidigitation some cheers and applause for Drew.
Wow.
And you see some
Holy
of the
cow.
GIF in the, like, at one of the tables, like, boo their comrade. He's like, ah. Alright, not bad at all, not bad at all.
Wow.
Okay,
That
let's see. Alright, here's some work I have for you all. Alright? My kind tend to be very, regimented, as it were. Now, I myself am not so much a fan of that, so, I didn't quit the regiment, but I serve as a quote-unquote, supply man, if as it were.
you are very well needed in any army, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate the attempt to make me feel good.
As a fellow soldier, this was not an attempt.
I'll tell you what. This establishment's in a bit of a debt. If you can get those spiderlings off me and off my back, I'll give you a small reward. How does that sound? Information, treasure, whatever you need.
I start looking over the counter to try and see if there's literal spiders on his back.
You do notice, like, there is, like, a little tiny one with a red dot on it. Yep, it's how they
is it
keep
just-
track of me.
Ah,
Huh, alright. This sounds like a good place to start.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we do... Can you point us in the right direction?
Yeah, the big thing in the middle of town. That's the spiders' gathering hall. They've basically run the place.
Thank you.
and it's I don't think we caught your name yet, friend. It's just so we know whose debt we're trying to clear.
Hurst.
Hurst. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Sure thing. You see him lighten up a pipe like he sort of a little nervously.
Hurst, in terms of clearing debts, is that like a nice casual conversation with the spider people? What's the typical procedure for this?
Just tell him I'll have it ready in a week.
Alright.
Like,
Does he-
smoke billows out of his, like, big nose.
Do I get the sense that he's like sending us off to like? Do I get the sense that there's something nefarious going on? That he's not being entirely honest with us?
I mean, he doesn't seem to be lying if that's the case.
But like, I guess not lying so much as clearly leaving out information.
Maybe. He's been very blunt and just honest with everything he's presented so far.
Alright. So should we get going?
I mean, if you want payment.
We could really use payment.
Right. It's Soren keeps a skeptical look on his face, but I guess turns around to leave.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to do here?
I don't have any money to drink, so
Oh no. Oh, we
I have
really
one gold.
scraping.
yeah, I have 1 gold left.
Mm-hmm. And you've just about emptied the ship's hull for little trinkets you can sell too.
Yep.
Oh boy. Well, it is a pickle you guys are in, isn't it?
Yep.
Alright, where are y'all going to then?
Guess to the spider place.
On the walk over, I'll just kind of say I don't like this. It's have you ever known a debt collector that is just fine waiting another week, and then you send other people to do the talking for you and agree to pay those people but aren't paying your original debt?
I mean, yeah, it's dicey, but we need the money.
Right, but I'm saying, but where's the money? If he had money, wouldn't he just be paying his debt?
I mean, he could just be paying us like a really small amount, and he owes them like a lot.
It's. I mean, we're in a bind. I would say, I'm gonna cast Mage Armor as we walk into the building. I would just say be prepared for this to go to hell pretty quickly. I don't think this is gonna go as easy as he pitched it.
And you definitely smell this place before you get inside. It smells of, space weed, of, tobacco and awful vices.
Weed.
Oh yeah, it's just the worst in here.
Ugh.
And inside the hall, you see these great sort of carpets of spider-like webs just draped across everything. And sort of it's a hazy place that's crowded and smelly, and people are jostling to get a view of like the products on sale. And there seems to be, violence going on, but very subtle violence, where people are quickly drugged behind stalls and eaten before you can really tell what's going on.
Did you say was that word eaten?
Yeah, it's not a great scene, to be sure. And there's every awful business you can imagine going on here. There's the selling of bodies, there's the selling of vices, of deeds of people's lives, everything being sold and bought here.
What the fuck did we just get ourselves into?
Mm-hmm.
The cantina in Star Wars.
Oh, so much worse.
But worse?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say this feels a lot worse. I don't remember a bunch. I don't remember a bunch of people getting eaten in the background.
I'm just gonna say, in this situation, the other people shot first.
Yes.
No, it's more like Jabba's palace if it was a marketplace and just absolutely covered in smelly spider webs. And you see this spider person, kind of like the one you met on Edil, like push a little like bucket full of trinkets up to you, and he's saying, buy one, take it. The time is right.
No, thank you.
And another one pushes up a bucket of fish towards you, and it's like, now get it while it's fresh. And it does not smell fresh.
I think at least ignoring street vendors is one of Soren's one of the skills he has.
One of his soft skills.
Yeah, one of my soft skills.
Yeah.
It goes at the bottom of the resume.
These guys are way more aggressive than the vendors on Greyhawk are.
The fish smells the same.
Mm-hmm.
Fish smells like fish regardless of planet.
Mm-hmm. And sort of, you can see that everyone's attention is sort of being drawn in one direction, though, as sort of the eyes go up onto this main stage. And you see a couple of these spider people bring out a sort of a horse with a horn on its head in heavy chains that looks like it's been pretty badly injured. And they're like putting out numbers on it and trying to sell it as well.
So it's a unicorn?
Yep.
Guys, can we steal a unicorn? Can we try to steal the unicorn on the way out?
You want to rob this place?
I'm just saying, if the opportunity proposes itself, it'd be really cool to ride out of this place on a unicorn.
Rayrel proposes stealing from the intergalactic spider mafia. Let's see how this goes.
This is out of character. That's Liz talking, not Rayrel. Alright, so I guess we have to find whoever's in charge and talk to them.
Yeah, it's which...
Oh, it's pretty evident.
What spider person here looks like they would be in charge of debts? Oh, Do we think that would fall under the same category as fish vendor or unicorn auctioneer?
No, you can find the debt vendors and like the people basically selling people's livelihoods for sale here, and it's pretty obvious who's in charge here. And it's this sort of, all the spider people are very small, but this one is especially small, especially fat and bloated, and is just smoking the biggest doobie you've ever seen. Like, just a long-ass pipe.
Contact high.
Oh, God.
It's truly the worst.
Ugh.
Ah, 3 of them. What do the two-leggers have to sell today?
Not selling, we've been asked by an associate to deliver a message. Recent friend of ours, goes by the name of Hurst, big bartender, jolly hippo fellow. Apparently he has some kind of debt with you all, and asked us just to let you know that it would be paid in the next week.
Hurst. I love that man. His establishment, great, beautiful, full of mercenaries and devils. It's absolutely a beautiful establishment. But I'll tell you what, I can't abide people not paying. Do you see this place? Everyone wants to rip someone else's throat out. And if I'm to keep it going, I need money.
Right, well, on the bright side, it's you have an uninvested third party in this matter now. So it's what could we do to assist you two in resolving this?
And he spies the little charm on Drew's neck, and he's like, "How much for that?"
Oh no, Drew is not for sale.
Not the man, though he does appear to be of good stature. No, I'm talking about the charm on his neck.
This charm is not for sale.
Not for sale. Everything's for sale. It's just a matter of a number.
Indeed. How do you know what this even is?
I don't know what it is, but I know that it's sparkly and I want it. That's all I need to know.
Do you like sparkly things?
Oh, I like things of many types. Particular those that can be burned and inhaled. But sparkly is not bad either. And as you're...
Drew's gonna take out one of his red gems and just put it on the counter.
That's respectable.
Indeed.
But that won't pay off Hurst's debt.
We are not here to completely pay off his debt, but simply
Buy him more
keep him
time.
alive.
Buy him more time. Right, that'll buy him about a day, I think. And he looks at Soren and he's like, right then. Here's what I'll do. Hurst himself owes me a large debt. Get me the deed to his establishment and we'll be good. That's all.
Just the deed.
That's about 1/10 of what he owes me. Trust me, it's a charitable interpretation. The man should owe me his life and soul for what he's done.
Right. It's I suppose the sentimental value will make up the difference there.
Good luck.
Uh-huh.
Negotiations are over unless you have something to sell.
Nope.
No products, but should this offer be dismissed by Hearst, is there any services that might be rendered instead?
Yeah, tell me to sell one of his people. Will be good. A soul for a soul seems pretty fair.
He owes you his soul?
He does.
Don't want to know. All right, we'll get back to him.
Good. Have a good day now.
All right. You too.
And you can, do you leave the tavern, or not tavern, but bazaar, or no?
Yeah, it smells disgusting.
When on the way out, can I try and listen in on the unicorn auction? I'm curious what they're bidding, like what they're offering in payment.
Yeah, you can hear all sorts of strange offers being put forward. Pieces of platinum, souls, rare items. Like, the bartering here is insane. You can sell almost anything. And then...
So...
No, you first.
Theoretically, Rayrel could, offer up her second-born child and just not have another kid.
Essentially, yeah. You could sell anything here. And I do mean that. You could probably sell literally anything here.
Is Rayrel looking to swing by the unicorn auction on the way out?
Nah, I just thought it'd be funny, but I don't want to cause trouble right outside the spider mafia.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when we're supposed to be looking for rituals and shit.
Mm-hmm. And then you hear someone call out, like, "It's escaped! It's escaped!"
Oh shit.
And the person you were talking to from earlier, you hear basically him cry out in pain as you see a creature like a lion run past you with him in his mouth. He's like, "Ah!" You see a chimera has accidentally been let loose, and the strange thing is absolutely running amok in the place, terrified out of its mind and just bolting and lashing out at whatever it sees.
Let's shut the door and put our backs to it from the outside.
I was gonna say, do we help or do we leave?
I mean, if we help, we can probably use it against them.
Yeah, we can services rendered.
That is all right. Shall we?
Yes.
So you guys,
all right.
Are you guys gonna be heroes or no?
Yeah, we'll be heroes.
Nice.
Being heroes tends to come with coin, which we're desperately in need of.
Drew will do two things. Drew will push the button on his amulet, and then right when he gets in, we'll cast spiritual weapon.
Okay. So we doing a fight then?
Let's
go.
I think so.
All right, let's give me some initiatives, folks.
And here we go. Drew, no longer with a minus, still rolls a 4.
Oh, I got a 14.
I got a non-natural 20.
Okay.
Ooh, dirty 20.
So Soren wasn't talking, nearly as much during negotiations, I think. And he was sort of the first to make his way away from it all. And so as you guys stay and everyone else sort of runs away, Soren, you're the only one that appears to be up and ready. Rayrel has to ready her bow and Drew his armor, but you are ready to go instantly. What do you do?
And it's just looking around. I only see this one chimera out and about. Right? There doesn't appear to be
that you know of. This seems to be the only one. Yes. And the poor thing looks in horrible pain, like it's been lashed. It seems scared and frightened and angry.
Oh.
Maybe you can charm it like you did the dragon. Instead of a pet unicorn, we give a pet chimera.
I mean, the dragon was like, dragons are smart and like speak languages. I'm not sure chimeras do that.
I mean, it has a red dragon part.
That's true. Let me see. I will approach the chimera with my hands up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use a sorcerer point to subtly cast. Not that it has to be subtle for this, but like just so it doesn't look like anything aggressive when I do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna subtle cast mirror image so that there's 4 of me holding my hands up,
Mm-hmm.
and just whoa there, whoa, it's you're not being hurt anymore. You can put him down.
And it sort of
You can
backs
let it
up a
go.
little bit, and its fur is raising up like a cat's does. And the goat bleats because the goat is there too. And everyone forgets about the goat part of chimeras.
It was my action to do the mirror image, so I'm just I'm getting as close to it as I can, but it's when I see that it's like hackles are going up, I'll kind of stop where I'm at and just kind of stand in front of it, trying to like plead with it, like showing that I'm not attacking it. I'm not attacking you. It's just here, and you can put down the toy. We'll get you something better.
Mm-hmm. And it sort of takes that into consideration for a moment and calms down for a second, and then immediately lashes out at you.
Okay, that's fair.
With
I was expecting that.
With a lion mouth that seems to be ready to breathe fire.
Oh dear.
Like most lion mouths.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let us see. What's your AC?
With mage armor, I think it is 16. But is this an attack or a save?
This is an attack.
So
Ooh.
first I have to see if it hits if it goes for one of my images. So I roll. Nope. That's a natural 3. So this is going at me.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, my AC is 16.
Oh no. Oh no. That's not good. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Dex save?
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, that was a 5, but 6 added on top of that, so an 11.
No. Oh, this thing's gonna fucking savage you, my dude.
Sure.
Oh no.
That's what happens when you try and reason with chimeras. It's fine.
Okay. Oh jeez. Okay, let's.
Actually, I just remembered a special trait that I've got from my Divine Soul Sorcerer that I've literally never remembered to use before, which is Favored by the Gods. So once per short rest, if I fail a saving throw or miss with an attack, I can roll 2d4 and add it to the total.
Okay.
Sorry, my dice just went flying.
That's okay.
So that's, and I rolled 2 1s.
Oh god.
That's
the gods do not favor you.
no. So is that I think that's a 13 now.
Oh jeez. Oh,
have
Soren,
faith in
my
God,
sweet baby
Soren.
boy. This is not
I think
good.
that's still not good.
No, this is very bad. Soren, it completely ignores your clones. It can smell you, and it immediately pounces on you. And its big fucking lion teeth sink into you, man. And it does 14 when its fangs just rip into your shoulder.
Sure.
But that's not the worst part by any means.
Nope.
No. Soren, you're gonna have a bad time, my dude. I am so sorry.
Do not worry, I shall save.
Okay. Rayrel, can you keep track of these numbers for me real quick?
Oh hell.
Hold on. Hold on.
No, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. Just add them up for me.
Okay.
Okay, so first we have a 6.
Okay.
Then we have a 13.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I mean, that alone is already plenty.
My God, man.
Plus a 5.
Okay.
Plus a 7. And give me the total of that.
31.
Oh
Two.
no.
A total 2.
Okay. Yeah, this thing fucking savages you, my dude. How is Soren looking?
He's fucking dead.
So that was 31 points of fire damage on top of the bite.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm unconscious.
Yeah, this thing fucking...
100. I had 32 hit points to start.
Yeah, and you notice like some grapes like conjure up and sort of act as a shield for like a half of a second, and the thing just breathes fire right through him. Oh god, Soren just gets fucking mauled by a chimera.
It's as he's passing out. I just look at Rayrel. I don't think it's friendly.
Okay.
tell them I tried.
He's on his way down. He's on his way down in deadpans. I don't think it's friendly.
Who's next in the initiative order?
I had rolled 14.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I guess that
yes,
would be
that's
me.
you.
Well, Rayrel's going to run up.
Perhaps blocking the door would have been our best option.
And using her animal handling, she's gonna try to calm down the chimera and tell it to drop him. Drop it.
Drop it.
The
You
exact
don't know where that's been.
Not a toy.
Oh shit! Yeah, we just lost our pilot. Oh god.
Here's a treat.
So one action is going to use animal handling to try to calm down the chimera, and then if that's successful, I'll use my second action to cast Cure Wounds on.
Don't do that yet. Don't do that yet.
No, like if.
I think if he's unconscious, it doesn't work.
No.
Right?
Cure Wounds just brings his
Cure
HP
Wounds
back up.
works.
Yeah, it works.
Oh, even if you're negative?
So it's 5e got rid of negatives essentially. The
Oh.
only way negative would matter is if in one hit, if you ever hit negative of your max hit points, then you die immediately.
Copy that. Thank you.
So like if I got hit for 32 points while I was like, then I would just be dead.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. So I'm going to just like cautiously approach the chimera and just go like try to calm it down.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, like you're hurt. The Spider-Man hurt you.
Your feelings.
Your feelings are valid.
Now keep
I
in
need
mind,
you to drop my friend.
this thing isn't as stupid as an animal. It's not intelligent by any means, but it's not like an animal. This thing's about as smart as an ape. Like, it can do like very limited communication even.
Yeah, I'm just trying to exude like it's okay, like non-threatening body language. It's like, just need you to drop my friend.
And it also is fairly common knowledge that these things are naturally malicious. Like even even under ideal circumstances, they're naturally just assholes.
I mean, almost everybody we run across in this game are assholes, so
Fair enough.
I'm just trying to calm them down.
Hmm.
Did
Okay.
you want me to roll for that, or?
Yeah. We'll say, let's give it, I would say, give me both an animal handling and a persuasion, because it's a little bit of both, really.
Right? Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, okay. Oh, that was almost good. Okay, so 15?
For the animal handling?
Animal handling is 16, or is 14, and then the persuasion is a 16.
Okay, so the creature sort of backs off and like backs away from Soren a little bit. But it's like it's still pretty aggressive, and it doesn't seem to want to back down. But it's not savaging Soren anymore, at least. But its claws
Cool.
are still out, and its hair is still on end. And you can just see that Soren's been fucking mauled. Like, it's
And then
rough.
I'm gonna like touch Soren and cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
Mm-hmm.
Great. A total of 8 points of healing.
Mm-hmm. What does that do for you, Soren?
I think that gets me up to 8 points of healing. Or eight hit points.
Okay.
It's a quarter of my HP. That's not nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I am a squishy boy.
Yeah, Soren's breathing again. You know.
And I looked at the spell. The mirror image isn't concentration, so I think just all 4 of me were just on the ground.
Yeah, the other ones were just like they were just in the bazaar just miming out the savaging that was happening to Soren, but like with no chimera on top of them. Which, oh my god, that's a lovely image. Okay. Drew, what do you do about this situation?
Okay, so the Chimera right now is irate but not beating anybody up at the moment.
Yes. It's a scared creature, it's an angry creature, and it's calmed down a little bit.
Alright, let me... Hold on. I'm looking to see what I can do. Yes, I think this is the... No. Alright, for now, just for now, why don't we do Healing Word? So I don't approach. This spell is a ranged spell, so I'm not going to be approaching Soren nor the Chimera. So he will. Let me take that as be a 3rd level spell. So he's going to get 3d4 plus 3. So here's the totals on the 3d4. It's going to be 7, 8, 9, 10. So you will receive 10 points, but I think there's something in my character sheet that says something good about whenever
you get the good heals.
Yeah, whenever you use a spell of 1st level or higher to restore HP, the creature regains additional hit points equals to 2 plus the spell's level. So that's going to be 16 total points, right?
Nice.
Yeah, and then okay. Blessed Healer. That's what. Okay, so that's what I am. So Blessed Healer. So that is also I would have regained hit points had I been damaged. So yeah, you're gonna get 16 total.
And what's the word you say to Soren that heals him so?
In his best Benny Hinn, he's gonna go anointing.
Lovely.
And Soren will have to fall down first, though, and then get back up.
Got it.
Because that's how Benny Hinn heals people.
Okay, and Soren, you're not too bad now. Your friends immediately took care of you, but oh boy, I'm certain that was a lesson. So what do you
Oh, that
do?
sucked.
Play dead,
That
dude.
sucked. am I like within 5 feet of this thing still? Is it like lumbering over
Yeah,
me?
it's still pretty close by.
Is sleazy spider person still next to me as well, or is he further away?
He's been thoroughly killed by this thing and crunched
Oh,
in
he's
its
dead?
jaws. Yes.
Oh, okay. So why are we doing this?
There's the chimera loose in the marketplace. That seems like pretty bad mojo.
Yeah, but it was like to get clout with the guy that's dead.
I thought this was about money.
We could get a high reward. I mean, a chimera running rampant is just bad news, regardless.
I'm going to
Very true.
stand up, I guess. Or
Uh-oh.
Soren and his clones stand up.
yes, and I will take I'm going to take a swig out of a wine flask that I've got, and you're going to see as I do it. You see that little gem around my neck. It flashes like a bright white or a light blue, and I cast dragon's breath on myself.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast that at 3rd level.
Okay.
Which that fun spell. It's a bonus action to cast. Its concentration lasts up to a minute. I touch one willing creature and imbue it with the power to spew magical energy from its mouth. I choose a bunch of different choices, and I'm going to go with cold damage. Until the spell ends, I can use an action to exhale in a 15-foot cone.
Interesting.
Are you
So
going to war
let's-
with the thing again?
Yeah, fuck this guy.
Oh boy.
Soren tried negotiating with this thing.
Well
and
then,
he-
as a bonus action,
Mm-hmm.
I had a bonus action, and I mean, if I could use it,
Yeah, sure.
I would like to use my bonus action. After he does his thing, to whack that thing with the spiritual weapon I cast when we walked in.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting.
Or maybe we can wait till next round if I've forgotten we're out of turn, which is no big deal.
Okay. Whatever. So Soren, are you going to breathe on the thing or not?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's at least from Soren's perspective. I tried to reason with it, got knocked unconscious. Rayrell had a conversation with it while I was unconscious, and then I woke up and it was still there. So it's no. He's gonna take it. He's gonna make a DC 15 Dex save for me.
Okay. All right. 15?
Son of a...
Yes.
Okay. Let's take a little peek at that. No, it fails.
All right. Then he is gonna take 4d6 cold damage.
Okay.
Which comes out to 17 points of cold damage this turn.
17?
Yes.
Okay.
And if I'm still in his threat range, I will not back up. I will just stand my ground with my mirror images.
So it sort of takes that and like it tried to push back with fire breath, but it was very unsuccessful. So what it's
I can breathe shit too, buddy.
So what it's gonna do is it leaps on you with its claws, right? So first off, let's take some of that.
Well, hold on. So he's making an attack roll.
Yep.
So I rolled the exact same thing I did last time for my mirror images, which was 3. So it hits me again.
Yeah. No, this thing definitely
guys are-
seems like it has a sense of smell that works on you. And so it leaps on you and over you. And let's see. Okay, so its claws sink into your shoulder. You take 11, and it leaps on over you, though, and you don't seem to be its target. Instead, it runs at Drew and tries to bash it with its horns.
I just rolled a con save too and failed, so my dragon drops. But I got one good hit in with it.
That's sad. I like that spell.
Yeah.
Drew, what's your armor?
19.
Okay, so it runs at you with its horns, but with this new
Alright.
suit of sparkly armor, it bashes into you, and you manage to stand your ground against the thing, and it freezes in place.
Outstanding.
And instead,
I-
the draconic mouth tries to bite into you instead of because now you and it are facing down.
No, I will not make out with you. That's what I say to him as he tries to bite my face.
And it bites onto your arm, right? But it
Yeah.
actually reels back as it bites you, as you notice there's a chimera dragon fang stuck into your armor, and
this is
you are not hurt. No, you're not hurt, but the tooth is lodged in there, and it actually pulled its own tooth out trying to bite you.
Outstanding.
Mm-hmm. So you are
Um,
completely safe.
Okay, when it's Drew's turn,
Mhm.
because I have a 4 initiative, he's gonna attack the thing twice with his spiritual weapon, which is going to be now basically a giant warhammer.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see
my-
that.
My turn.
Mm-hmm.
Some last. All right, Drew.
Oh no, it's
Rolls an
actually
18.
Rayra. We'll do her then you.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
All right, no worries.
Okay, so we're hitting the thing.
Time to beat its butt.
I mean,
Yep,
you talk as you need. Decide amongst yourselves what's the plan of action here.
I think we need to kill it at this point, right?
I mean, I'm on board for that at this point.
Hold on. Let me take a look at something. Oh, okay. This is a good thing. This is good. Okay, so for my first action, I'm going to cast Bark Skin on Soren, which will bring his AC up to 16.
Mm-hmm.
I've got mage armor up, so my AC is already at 16.
Okay, never mind. Okay, so I guess I will cast Hunter's Mark as a bonus action on the Chimera,
Mm-hmm.
and then attack it with my short swords.
Mm-hmm. So your eyes sort of narrow, and you sort of pinpoint what you know about the creature, and you rush in with your 2 swords. And what do?
Okay, so let's see. One is a 19 to hit,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other one is a 13 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
So do those hit?
Yes. Or at least
Okay.
one of them does. The other bounces off the tough dragon scales on the backside.
Okay. Oh, I need another of those. Alright. Okay, so a total of 13 points of damage for that one. And then for my second action, I'm going to attack twice again.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I've got a 16 and a dirty 20.
Okay. Both of those hit.
Awesome.
Oh god, Rayrel just fucking... Her arms start spinning and she turns into a little bit of a saw blade as she leaps onto the back of this thing.
The Tasmanian Devil.
Mm-hmm.
So 21 points of damage?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, goodness. Okay, so yeah, you leap on the back of this thing and you just tear into it. Rayrel wanted a peaceful solution, but peace was never an option, apparently. And now she's, bucking on the back of this thing while it slashes and kicks about. And it's fighting her the whole way. And Drew, you have a pretty clear shot now that Rayrel's basically riding the back of this thing with her swords as the reins.
Well, this giant warhammer that is now between me and the Chimera
Mm-hmm.
is going to act like a pinwheel
Okay.
and just keep flipping and turning.
Oh, like a big
And-
old spinny thing.
Uh-huh. Oh, may I say, okay, so
Yeah.
the first one I rolled an 11,
Okay.
which is gonna miss. But the second one's a natural 20. Let's go.
Yeah.
So the handle part of it spins right over the creature's head and misses. And it seems to time out perfectly. The head of the lion and the spinning of the thing, the warhammer, like on the next spin round just perfectly connect. The poor thing gets walloped by that though. And how much does it do?
Well, the spiritual weapon, I will read it to you. It goes like this. When you cast a spell using a spell slot of 3rd level or higher, the damage increases by 1d8 for every 2 spell slots above 2nd.
Mhm.
So as it stands, it is a 1d8 plus 3, which I will do right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that little... And it is a 5, so that's going to be 8 total damage. Unless there's anything that natural 20 did for me.
No, I'd just say it's a fucking solid hit that sends the thing sort of flying into a nearby sales booth. And
Sure.
with Rayrel on the creature, I would say they both take, let's say, a good 10 as they ram into the wood of the cart that they hit.
So
I take 10 damage?
Yeah. And then the creature takes an extra 10 as well, as Drew
So
just sent it
that's
flying
18.
with a perfect blow.
So that's 18 more to the Chimera, plus
Yes.
what Rayrel did, plus
Mhm.
the cone of cold
Yep.
that Soren did.
Yeah, this thing's a fucking bucking ass bronco, though. It don't give in easy. But
I think we're hitting it fairly well. Someone only nearly died once.
yeah. No, this is definitely like an upgrade for how our fights normally go.
Right.
And I'm gonna say that the creature sort of now, like after its first fire breath on Soren, like part of the marketplace has caught on fire just a little bit. And I'm gonna say that now it's mostly trying to get Rayrel off of it. And while the lion head can't get around to attack you, the dragon head most certainly can. And it's gonna
Okay.
it's just gonna viciously chomp at you. So let's see.
Certainly try.
So we have a 19, a 24, and a 21. How many of those hit?
Yeah. All of them?
Yeah. Okay, so the thing just fucking... It pulls Rayrel off of its back and just sort of shakes her around like a chew toy. And that's going to be an instant 12 damage plus... Let's see. Let me check the other dice real quick. Oh, jeez.
So that was 12.
12 plus 8
Okay.
plus 2
Okay.
plus 9. And you're just shooken about viciously by
Oh.
the dragon head.
That's 31 points of damage.
Something about this feels deja vu for Rayrel, and she can't quite
I'm-
place what.
I'm still standing.
Mm-hmm.
Barely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Just blood everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I would even say that, like, Soren, you're getting a little bit covered in the blood of your friend, like, while she's just shooken about by this dragon head. It's not a pleasant sight, to be completely fair.
This has happened twice within the past 24 hours. or no, it took us a couple days to travel, so at least the past week.
Soren, what do you do as your friend is shooking about like a chew toy in front of you?
Question. Are we all within 5 feet of this dragon?
You're all pretty close to it. I would say Drew is about 10 feet since he absolutely knocked it away.
Perfect. That is what I needed. I'm going to try and I'm gonna run up till I can put a hand, till I can get a hand on Rayrel, and I'm gonna cast Thunderstep.
Okay. I will say that it does get one opportunity attack in the form of the lion's head being right next to it.
Well, I'm not leaving its attack range. I'm getting in there.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And then we're teleporting away. So it's shit. Sorry. Damn it. I lied. It affects everybody within 10 feet of the space. So I don't know if there's a way I can. Well, no, it's not going to kill you. I'm worried about it killing Drew. I don't know if there's a way I could position myself 11 feet away. If not, I'll come up with I'll do something else because I was dumb and misread.
No, I'd say you can position yourself in that weird way.
All right. Well, then I grab onto Rayrel, and the two of us, with a loud thunderous boom, can teleport 90 feet away from this chimera.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try and choose a distance, like maybe by the door or somewhere where like Rayrel's got some cover where she can either heal herself or use her bow, and I can fling some spells from further away. Okay. But with that big thundery boom, my dragon friend gets to take 3d10 worth of damage.
Ooh, wow.
Shit.
He does get to make a con. He gets to make a con save of 15, and if he succeeds, he still takes half.
Okay.
And also, this is really loud, and it could be 300 feet away.
Yeah, I would say it saves pretty well against that. So what's the numbers?
Okay. Let's see. Should I? It would be a 17, but fuck this guy. I'm gonna spend a sorcery point to empower the spell and re-roll one of these dice that came up as a 2.
Okay.
And now it's a 6, so that's 21 halved, so 10 points of thunder damage.
So yeah, you see the creature just rear up and roar as this loud boom echoes across the entire marketplace. And while it doesn't hurt you, Drew, your ears are definitely left ringing. And like, when you stop clutching your ears and come to, you notice your friends are gone. So, where did you teleport to, Soren?
Are we close to the door right now?
Yeah, you can teleport outside if you wanted to.
No, I don't want to leave Drew in here. I want to get us a good distance away where Rayrel can, like, if she wants to, she can maybe pull out her bow instead, since she's like taking a bunch of hits. Let's say I teleported us like to 30 feet. Yeah, so like nearly like the raised platform or something. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Is the unicorn still here?
No, that was one of the first things, like, moved the fuck out of here.
Damn. Okay.
Okay, so Soren makes his move and has like vanished very suddenly, weirdly, and the thing, like, it sees where you've disappeared to because, it's the raised platform, but Drew is so much closer, and so it's immediately gonna jump on Drew and try and savage him.
I mean, I will say there are 4 juicy Sorens still on stage. Since he keeps hitting me and not the frickin' illusion.
So let's see. 21, 19, and another 21. Do any of those hit you, Drew?
All 3.
Oh wow.
Oh dear.
Okay, so the creature jumps on you the same way it tried to savage Soren. Like, this thing, while it is intelligent to some extent, attacks very predictably and like a chaotic animal does. And so it jumps claws first, horns second, and bite third. So, let's see. Okay, so the claws sink into you, and your armor doesn't protect you this time. Instead, you're sort of caught between its lion teeth, and just sort of the pressure itself, not even your armor getting pierced is what damages you. You take 11 of crushing when it bites down on you like that.
Alrighty then.
And then next comes the claws as it pushes its weight down on you further, and you take another 11 to that. As this thing, this honestly enormous creature is putting its full weight onto you. And then
It's large.
yeah, and then you're gonna
If
take
it's large, that's dang it.
yeah, you take 12 more, and that'll be it.
That's all.
Yep,
All right.
that's all. What is your HP looking like, Drew?
That'd be a 2.
Oh jeez.
You know, that's all. Yeah, this thing just jumps on you and fucking crushes you with what is easily a couple tons of weight. And, you know, you can see Drew be like, "Ugh," as the thing just crushes him. And he has the gall to say, "Is that all?"
Yep. Yep.
Drew, you cocky bastard. Alright, Ray Bro, what do you do?
I guess I will I'm gonna shoot at it with my fancy bow.
Okay.
Twice. So I'll just spend my 2 actions doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear. Okay. So one of them's a 10 and the other one is a 15?
Okay, so one of them hits. What damage type are you using? Radiant or fire?
I think I'll go with Radiant.
Okay.
Okay, and that
yeah.
is 13 points of damage.
Mm-hmm. So
Is that with your hunter's mark damage too?
Oh, thank you for reminding me. So that'll be 14 points of damage.
okay. Hey, every little bit helps.
Yep.
Yeah, a bow, like your first arrow hits that thing just square in the jaw. The other flies over and lands somewhere in one of the stalls that you can't really see where it flew off to. But one certainly did hit. And then, let's see, who goes after Springrel? It is Drew. Drew, what do you do?
Well, Drew is
Heal yourself.
Drew's looking at himself going, well, damn. I'm kind of beat up. Kind of beat to hell right now. How much more damage did this thing take from Ray Rael?
It took 14 from Ray.
14, 18, plus the 20, plus the... God bless America. I mean, God bless Oerth. Flyness. God bless the Flyness. Let me see if I can... I'm wondering... I'm trying to see if I can do where I get the maximum healing bonus.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just look at something right quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking. Okay, alright. No. And I can channel divinity to do what? Turn it undead? Other than you, damn it. I was trying to double dip. Alright, I mean, Here's the cool thing, though. I can absolutely heal myself, and then use my bonus action to see if my Warhammer can give him another fucking whack in the head. So, yeah, since it's a bonus action. So first off, we are going to cure wounds on old Drew. And he will give himself... Oh, that's really good rolls. 14, 20, 24 points of healing.
Woo!
Nice.
Which is not terrible. Let me type that in the box. 24. And heal. And then with his Warhammer, hopes to smack the shit out of this thing. And the winner is... That would be... Yeah, an 11. That ain't because he's on his back, so he's not hitting shit. Or, well, the spiritual weapon misses.
Okay. And that's with all your bonuses and such?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. One interesting thing that has been occurring while this fight's been going on is what with the radiant arrows being thrown, the fireballs being cast, the fire breath being breathed. Like, this place is catching on fire.
All those webs laying around.
Yeah, it's a crowded little market. Like, you have started a fire while this fight's going on.
I did have one cold breath at one point. My fire extinguished a brief area.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot.
And the creature, sort of content with the destruction that it's rained here, sort of jumps off Drew, uses its goat head to ram the door open, and then starts to fly away.
Was it not my turn? I hadn't gotten to go since it tore into Drew.
Oh, yes. You have a move. Before... So you can see it's starting to...
this thing before it runs away.
Yeah, it's starting to try and escape with the place on fire and you guys as the only people here.
Screw I do not like this thing. I'm gonna run up to try and close some of the distance just in case it decides to take one final swipe at somebody. Maybe it'll go for me instead of Drew. And I'm gonna just hurl a level 2 chaos bolt at it.
Okay. Yeah, let's see what it does.
That is a 22 to hit.
Okay. So you hit it.
I roll 2d8s.
Yeah, is this enough to stop it from escaping?
And then I get to roll 2d6s for the damage as well. Let's see. So it's gonna be, since Chaos Bolt is weird, it's gonna be force damage. These rolls all kind of suck, so I'm gonna use another meta magic point to re-roll them and do more damage.
Fair enough.
That's better. That's 19 points of force damage.
That's the total?
Yes.
Okay, you really wallop this thing. And it was originally like trembling out like a lion's like run kind of thing. But it is now sort of limping out as it breaks through the bazaar's door and flies away. But it seems very injured now as it flies off.
Yeah, you better run. Shit, Chimera.
And sort of the Nyogi who like went into hiding while this fighting was going on sort of now peek up and realize that the place is on fire. And they all sort of stare at all of you three as the bazaar is on fire around them. And you can
You're
tell
welcome.
there are not happy eyes in this room.
I still say you're welcome.
And what will happen next time? We don't know. But we'll see next time our heroes go beyond Oerth, huh?
Yep.
Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.